Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rakakodash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to give a hearty shalom to the hopeful elect here in this truth and sincerity. So I just want to do a quick lesson, being, if you understand these prophecies, then you can see the future. And what I mean by that, and Lord willing, this makes sense, is that through these prophecies, we know what's coming next. For example, people in the world, whenever something happens, they get all shooken up. They don't know what to do or what's going on, what's happening. But through the spirit and prophet Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, those of us that know these prophecies, we know what's coming next, right? Case in point, the Charagma, the MOTB. We know that's coming, which makes us what? Seers, man. Which is another name for a prophet. I want to say in the book of Samuel, it says, for he that is called today a prophet was aforetime called a seer. Meaning what? They can foresee the future. Because Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai dealt with the prophets in the days of old. And in today's time, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai is dealing with his prophets again through these scriptures, man. Because not everybody can, understand these breakdowns. Not everybody can grasp what's really being said from these scriptures. Yeah, people can read the Bible, but to really understand what it's saying, go into the breakdowns, break these words down, not everybody can do that. All right, but the Lord gave us teachers, the apostles, the elders of GMS, their teachers before them, are to decode these mysteries, through the Spirit. So that makes us what? That makes us seers. That enables us to see the future, man, through these scriptures. The MOTB, World War III, then the return of Yahweh Shai. Do I see it? It's just a matter of whether you believe it or not. Isaiah 46:10, it says, declaring the end from the beginning. See, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai declared the end from the beginning. So when he was making everything, he already declared the end. This is a movie, and where the cast. You got your cast, supporting cast. The main cast is Jacob and Esau, and the supporting cast is these other nations. But this movie, it ends with us winning. It says, and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. And what's of the Lord's pleasure? That Israel gets the kingdom. What did Yahweh shall say? Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. So it's Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai's pleasure to give us the kingdom. And we know that, like the scriptures say, that the Most High is not a man that he should lie. So the Lord is going to come through on that promise, especially that he made to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. So going on, it says right here, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done. So the Lord already declared these things. And guess who he showed these mysteries to? Let's go to the book of Amos 3:7. It says, surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. What secrets? The secrets of these prophecies, man. Because once again, not everybody is able to understand these prophecies. And that's why when we go to the book of Matthew, the 13th chapter. Matthew, the 13th chapter, what did Yahweh Shai say? He says, verse 10, and the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? You see, parables, pretty much, it's a mystery. Just to sum it all up, it's like a puzzle, so to speak. Verse 11, he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. You see, so it was given to, first and foremost, the prophets, who the Lord is dealing with, then the rest of you believers who can understand these prophecies, man, which makes you what? Which makes you able to see the future through these prophecies, man. And through these prophecies, we have faith that, we're going to be all right. Like the scriptures, it talks about the devil coming down with great wrath. It talks about a time of Jacob's trouble like never before, But it also talks about the Lord, protecting his elect. Okay? So I want to go from there to Hebrews 11 and 13. Now, when you go up, it talks about faith. It talks about the different forefathers who had faith. And how it pleased the Lord. But then when you go to verse 13, what does it say? These all died in faith, not having received the promises. So they saw the future. Through the word of the Lord, they saw the future. They died in faith. They didn't receive the promises though. All right, but they still believed. And guess what? Reincarnation is a thing. So they eventually came back. But having seen them afar off and were persuaded of them. See, they saw these things afar off. Being what? They were able to see the future. Yet in their time, they were told these things and they saw it afar off and they believed it. They saw the future. In order to believe, you gotta envision these things, man. Like Elder Apostle Gabar would say, you gotta be a visionary within this truth. You gotta envision, Yahweh shall return. You gotta envision, Babylon the Great, America being destroyed. It says, and were persuaded of them and embraced them and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. Because our forefathers, like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, at that point, they did not receive that land yet. It was during the time of Joshua is when the Lord pretty much, gave us that land, which the heathen were in at that time. But our forefathers, they were pilgrims on the earth. Pilgrims which, who moves around. But Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, as it says right here, Salakia, where it says Abraham sojourned, right? Hebrews 11 verse 8. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whither he went. Because Abraham, he grew up in the Ur of the Chaldees. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua called him out of that. If you can receive it, Abraham was an idol worshiper. He grew up, his father was an idol worshiper. But Yahweh Bashim Yahushua took Abraham out of that. Had mercy on Abraham. Verse 9, by faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which have foundations, whose builder and maker is the Most High. So they saw the promises afar off, man. They didn't receive it in their time though. All right, and once again, reincarnation is a thing. So eventually they did, enter into the Holy Land, through reincarnation. But also the true blessing is going to be when we get the kingdom, because that's something that the prophets all desired to see was, of course, the return of Yahweh Shai and the kingdom being set up. So another quick account that I wanted to get was the book of Matthew, the 4th chapter, of how Yahweh Shai, he ultimately foreseen the future. Because when Satan came to tempt him, Satan showed him the kingdoms of the earth, the glory of the kingdoms, and Yahweh Shai pretty much denied it all because he had a kingdom coming. He got a kingdom coming, not had, but he got a kingdom coming, which is an eternal kingdom. See, the kingdom that Satan was showing Yahweh Shai was temporal. You know what I'm saying? So Yahweh Shai knew that his kingdom was eternal. So why would I kneel before you for something that's temporal when the Most High is going to give me something eternal? Yahweh Shai was the ultimate visionary in this truth, man. And what he did was for his whole nation. So he knew that his sacrifice would benefit the whole nation, man. Matthew 4 and verse 8, it says, again, the devil taketh them up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. So Satan was saying pretty much, this is Satan's world, man. This is Satan's kingdom right now. So he's pretty much coming to Yahweh Shai. Look, if you fall down and worship me, I'll give you everything. All right. Verse 10, then saith Yahweh Shai unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. See, Yahweh Shai wasn't budging, man. He said, Yahweh, thy power is the only one you're going to serve. And that's the same energy we come in. As times get closer, where Esau is going to pretty much, tighten the screws pretty much on the whole world. If you don't take that charagma, then you won't be able to live in this system. But then again, being seers, seeing the future, we know that dying for this truth or not dying, we still win. But ultimately, on the dying part, it's not a loss. To be beheaded is not a loss. Matter of fact, when you go to the book of Revelation, the 20th chapter, it talks about those that were beheaded, how they sat on thrones. Revelation 20:4, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. You see? And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads, or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with the Mashiach 1,000 years, you see. And those that were beheaded for Yahushua, they foreseen the future. They saw the glory, or they knew what was to come. So once again, why would you bow for something temporal when this temporal thing is about up and something eternal is coming? You see? So, that's pretty much the point, man. I just want to go into how to understand these prophecies means you can foresee the future in a sense, man. And foreseeing the future, what's getting ready to happen. All right. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, I say shalom.